Come link with me under the Iroko tree. Make a reason to every season, speaking the truth for the youths. Maintaining the spiritual rules, maintaining the spiritual rules, maintaining the spiritual rules.
Blessed love, blessed love, blessed love. Welcome forward again under the Iroko tree, Iroko reasoning, spiritual roots. Yeah man, we're tapping into the spiritual roots of things as always. So there, we give thanks. And we give thanks to all the supporters thus far. And we have to keep pushing it forward. We give thanks, much love and respect. We appreciate it. Yes, so as usual, Hotep, Uncle Ja, Sneb, and we come forward again in the energies and principles of Ma'at and Ubuntu. Yes, blessed love, welcome forward. Yes, so that one I want to talk about us being sheeples, you know? Yeah man, we're there and so following without no thinking for ourselves. And I observe this, and when I talk about these things, I am not excluded. You know what I mean? It's just that as we hear this word being bantered about now, the awakening. So to go with that, we realize, we see things, we understand certain things a little better, and we still learn. So as we learn, we share, and we give thanks to be here to be able to do that. You know what I mean? So yeah, so sheeples, you know, just like sheeps. Once you see 5 sheep move with us, so then the next 40,000 going to follow that 5, no matter where that 5 is going. Yeah, and we about the lamb to the slaughter. So that's what we have become. Because for those of us who might have gotten a little bit of the history, probably choose to forget it, and then possibly majority of we don't know anything about certain part of the history. So we have when I learn that we are leaders. Yes, so we end up being sheeples, just following. Yeah, and the stage have been set from the Bible. And I said this before we go on, it's not a knocking down of the Bible, because things in there we can learn from and use within the living. But certain things in there we know so that they'd set a certain way to. And then if one want to look up the Council of Nicaea history, a part of the history of where the Bible is coming from and what it was intended to do in a way. So, as we say, one of the great ancestors of Marcus Garvey, we without the knowledge of the true history of our true past will become like trees without root. See? So we now have that strong foundation there, stand up and know who we are and what we are capable of based on what we have been doing. So as we said, that's set from in the Bible. Sheep and shepherd. So it is being referenced as to sheep's not thinking for themselves, they just follow. And just observing how we are living is testament to that. Yeah. So again, we live in an age now where people afraid of the truth, rather go with the lies because the lies are dressed up pretty and make us feel good and keep us in the illusion. But the truth is presenting a mode of work to take on something, to do something, to create a purpose, to take on a challenge, especially within the self. So as we say, we are tapping spiritually, yes, emotionally, and that will affect us in the physical. In a better way. Well, given that we take it on the way it's supposed to take on and not be afraid and be living by fear, even though fear is good for some level of behavior. As one of the wise ones have said, if it wasn't for fear or pain, then somehow would have cut out the intestine and write Gucci on it and have it away over our shoulder. So yeah, we need to check in and realize that these things, fear is, some level of fear keep us safe and keep us in check. But we can't be too fearful. You know what I mean? Even within, and the animal kingdom is a wonderful thing. Well, given that we can see it on film in certain aspects. The elephant would gang up and protect a young one, and the elephant, the lion being big, bad and brave, you know, say him have a time when him see that go on, him know say a little fear in him, but tell him, alright, now than the time for attack. So him have a pull back. You know what I mean? So even though him big and brave. So with that comes a little sense and a little thing of knowing when to do what and how. So sheeples, you know, we've been following so long, we don't know nothing about leading. You see? Based on the fact again, so we don't know the history. Our history, really. So we see how we are behave, we see how we are going with. We see the election come and we're out again, doing the same foolishness we have been doing for the last 50 years. Yes? So we are show support. The people where forget to them are servants and are calling themselves leaders. So once again, we're caught in the trap of following these people to our detriment. Because within all this time, when them say them a campaign, it's like everybody forget them issues. Because we don't hear nobody say the water, the light, the whatever need to deal with. And then go in front of these people, it's about, yeah, knocking pot cover and blowing a horn, and we carry on and we swing on for the vehicle and we do whatever we want to do. We give it the next 2 weeks and a month down the road, we're back to complaining again. These same people, but we should have make no say, yo, no vote, you know. If we know certain things are changing, you know. And we can't come back in front of you 1 month or 2 weeks before election, come to certain things again, the trick way again. No, but we're no business with that. Yeah? We just say, fun time and running around and being crazy. So, we are only talk about clocks. Don't ever some local man saw them clocks to buy from. You see it? We listen to the news and we hear how much 1,000 masks getting ported. And we say, we have them to go around in each parish. Find to just my car to tail and say, alright, I go now. You can do this amount of pay now, or you do this amount of pay now. Within this time, we know the people lose them work and them a turn. Try to turn them on to make fashion and do all kind of thing to survive this time. So these are the people who run around and follow behind. So we give them support. Okay? Based on them tricks and promises once more. You see? So what we are stand up for? What we want for ourselves and we them. So once again caught following. Yes? This is crazy. What we are doing. What we are thinking about. What we are looking at. And we're just thinking about the immediacy of now. Nothing futuristic. What kind of imprint we are left for our youths them to pick up on and follow through with. We need to check in on this. So we're just being sheeples, following along. As we referenced Stalin the other day, where it stripped the chicken. All them food and left it naked really, still alive, and just show some feeding. Behind him and the chicken still following him and telling people them said that's so you're easy. That's how easy you lead stupid people. You just need to show them a worthless treat every now and then. So these things we get caught in and we're still following. After how many years? What are we doing? Yeah man, so it's just crazy. Because we now use this, we now think. And again, as I say, the system are busy, crazily busy doing this, working for the bills, doing that, this, that. And we don't have time to look up, well, out of the phone, really. To look around and see what's going on and listen and hear what's going on. So, we get caught once again. Yeah, man. Sheeples, just following. Yeah, and ones, but I probably watch this and say, why can't shave and... So there we go again. Shave and look presentable. These are what we have been taught. So you have to look one particular way. Looking like this, they might be seen as a cruff. Because somebody told us this. Yes? So we get caught in others giving us ideas on how to see things and how to think about things and how to be. And we want to understand, say, if we look on it, are we free? I mean, here. Yeah, we're moving around freely in some sense. But are we free? For something like this, I do when I feel like. And I like me, I say, me escape out of these traps and these things. We still did what we are learning and we take time and slip out. You know what I mean? In certain ways. We always are going to follow something, you know. But that's the thing. What are we following? Why are we following the things we are following? Is it because it's just popular? And everybody seems to be doing it or everybody is doing it? Then we just go along. So, if I want to do this for the rest of the year, I feel like I can do it. I want to care about the opinions of what one want to say. Because I'm not trying to match up to society's standard of looking cute. See? So, these are the things. Why are we following? Why are we working so hard and spending our money on certain things? Because we grew up come here, so nobody not perfect. But for the most part, we see the way we live, what the things we are trying to do. We are trying to be perfect in our specific regard. And within this second, we talk about beauty. Because we can believe the westernized opinion that is pushed forward as to what beauty is and what beauty should look like. And we're buying into that. Working hard and literally buying into it. We're getting all the false things that we can get. Some of us are doing surgery. Because we put it on TV and in a magazine and music videos and tell us, see there, that is beauty. So now we're out of our mind. And we feel like we're not following. And that is exactly what we're doing. You know? So we feel like we have a mind of our own, but all we do is follow something that is set in everywhere we're looking at society. So we just go along naturally. Not thinking for ourselves. Freedom. Freeness. Are we really free here? What are we thinking about? What are we And the answer to that is based on what we're doing. Them do a survey within the United States. Billions of dollars for a year on cosmetics and weaves and all these false things. Jordans and name brand phones and all of these things. Billions every year. So are we free? And the way you prove how you're free is based on the things you do and how you think. And based on the things you do shows how you're thinking. So billions of dollars every year and on these things. And for us, we're about selling of the soul, and we feel it's a literal in some sense, but we're doing it and we're not even see it. Because these things we go work hard for and buy these things, and we're selling out ourselves because we're trying to be and look like everything else except ourselves. Some of us sell out for the work, for the job. I mean, ask people not for work. But if we really think for ourselves, then we would have realized that after the work then we are run down, we could have created something for ourselves. But we're not thinking along these lines because society tells us you have to go to school and go work. You know what I mean? Never really tells us to go to school and come create. So these things we have to check into. When we get to understand so when we're airports, well, that I want to hear some females attack. You know, makes sense. You got to apply with your natural hair and looking normal, naturally. You know, get the work. You have to sell out. You have to get the weaves and the wigs and the fast this and the fast that. And plaster your face with makeup. That alone make you qualify. And we have to Jano up on that. You know what I mean? Right there, so these are the things. What are we thinking about? What are we looking at? What we are doing? We are tapping spiritually. All upon creation and creator and ourselves. And finding the links. Crazy. And among us, we have a whole lot of educated puppets. Because if you want to say ignorance, really, is where the uneducated, so to speak, and the educated, so to speak, meet. And we mean meet in terms of the actions that they are performing, that they are doing in society. And if we look around, we see the educated and the uneducated doing the same dumb things. You know what I mean? Same things. And that makes you wonder what is education really, if that can prevent you from doing something different. And by different we mean better than the so-called uneducated in the society, but not end up to do the same thing. So what that mean? Are we looking at these things? And it's crazy. So we hear the talk of Black Lives Matter. And we see the demonstrations and we hear the whole heap of uproar. But we want to understand, say, some of these things that have been done, they are trigger. They are things that have been done to trigger us to behave a particular way. Because within this time of this virus, so the whole thing is bothering on us not having any rights. Because it's in the name of keeping us safe. Yes, and if we do research, we realize that some things are behind these things where we need to plant, we need to get back to the soil. We need to, and this is what my mind need for there. But we're still crazy on the grams and the Facebooks and all these things. Trying to live the life of the filters. So we get the filters in on the phone, we use them and say, oh, but we can't achieve this in real life. So we go get all the little things them now to start look like what we look like behind the filters. So we are trying to do that in a real life. And at the same time, we come say, well, nobody not perfect, but we see we are trying to get that perfect look based on what society tells us. Say, I saw you if you look. And we say, we now follow. So we see Black Lives Matter. And if we check in, where you say, Black Lives Matter is being funded in a real way by the same people, then we are going to and say, please take on the neck, you know, no knees off our neck. So we need to check in. So these things, some of these things have been done to trigger us. And I say, within this time of this virus, we are say, the majority, which what them term as minority, you know what I mean? All these things we get caught, you know. What them call we the minority. We are in majority, but them call we the minority. So there we go. So when we look on it, them say we fall out from this thing. Yeah? So just thinking about it, when we do certain things to trigger, we them know exactly how we're going to react, because that's how we have react. For years, we have been demonstrating for years, and still we're here doing it. So them say it's an insane thing for keep doing the same things and expect different results. So we need to look on it and check it and call it what it is. Again, the spade, call the spade a spade, you know what I mean? If something not working, then you need to change the strategy. So them trigger us will behave the same way. And then we get caught in another thing again. So when we look on it, we say where it matters in terms of funding. But the same people then we try to beg to give our freedom. Let us be free, equal rights. And them I fund these things same way. And what we understand, say, we demonstrate today and tomorrow. We go back and sit down on one of them table to eat. It's either them going to take off a joke or them going to poison we. And we miss the real demonstration we're supposed to go on. We don't have to go to another road or gang up out the road and make noise and placards. And we need to set up the game. Money is the thing. Where are we spending our monies? Who are we spending our monies with? I will demonstrate today, and if we demonstrate for the whole of the year, next year we're going to the store and going to buy all of the fast things that we can buy. And none of these things are produced by us. So we're spending millions, as I said before. Who are we giving it to? The same people that we put them knee in our neck. We check these things. Yeah? So, and that's what we need to demonstrate. Keep our money in our pocket and spend it on necessary things. Yes? With the honest and we say, holy pa, almond and waste fruits are weight every year. Instead of, we're not no business really. But there's a reason we want holy pa nail shop and holy pa beef shop and holy pa. Because that alone I tell you, we're going this. So nobody try to set up a plan to process some almond and process some fruits and all of these things. So how are we thinking? What are we looking at? And these are the things I talk about. Are we really thinking for ourselves? Just being sheeples, following. And just like locally we say, as a little man put up a stall and sell some fruits, we say about 50 stall or 50 cat come up beside him and sell fruits. Nobody knows about we sell something else. So these are the thinking. I would say this all across all levels of society. Because not even the government not think for themselves. They're in cahoots with people who them can't say no to. So certain directives they have to follow. So it's how we get caught in it. It's crazy. How we had about it. See? So if Black lives really matter, we would have to do some research. Find out where we come from. Who our ancestors them are. What they have been doing. As we say, Sankofa. Let's go back and find those good things and even the bad too. I would not go on like everything was good. But as we say, we use both of them to learn from. The bad, from the bad we learn what not to do. From the good we learn what to do. And we move forward and build on those things. But I don't know. So there are things that we're free and so we're big and can do some of the things that we feel so we want to do. Because half of what we do is not because we want to do it either. It's because society push you to do it. But half of we're not going to admit to that or even see it that way. And that shows the level of captivity as well. Because when you cannot be honest even with yourself, then that shows how captive one is when you can't even be honest with yourself. Because if half of we did dip on an island by ourselves, do we think we would have originally thought of half of the things that we are doing? Yeah? It's because society are pushing in a way where it's just dominant, we see it everywhere, so we just get caught. Are we thinking on these things? Same thing that we are teaching people them. We don't teach them nothing else, we don't lift them different. We are just here as a herd of sheeples, training the next herd of sheeples. When we are going to wake up to this, when we are going to realize this, when we are going to begin to start to change this. Yeah man, just that's how we sell out long time. And we hear about sell out and we think it's only celebrities and but just look on what we are doing. The things that we choose to take on with society are pushed by way. And we don't say no. Sheeply following along. Crazy full time we wake up. Full time. Our children are depending on us. And we should have more principles for ourselves. And stop selling out so easily. We're not even under pressure, no. Certainly we ain't. The only pressure we're under is that it looks so much by in terms of when we look around, that's all we're seeing. These things we see for them to follow, so we just go along. That's the pressure really. But nobody now put nothing in our head and I say, yo, you have it. But then realize that we don't have nothing about ourselves. We're just waiting on the next thing to go with. So them keep giving us more up and more up and more. And we're not checking. We're not checking in to the spiritual side of things. We don't have no principles. Yeah? And we talk about them principles there where you're not going to betray for nothing or nobody. You're ready to go out for them principles there. And we talk about all aspects of life. For we youth them, for we intimate partners, all these things. So, because if we understand so nothing not changing. Slavery just look different these days. Every institution we have in a society where we work with and go around and deal with right now, school, education, religion, all of these things. Work still operate right out of the slavery handbook. It just look different. And probably the words them sound different. But the system, the root is still the same. And we're caught just following just the same. Sheeples. And it look like we intend to wake up. Or we just want to go with what's easy. Not realizing say if we take on the challenge, which is ourselves first, and overcome. Get rid of the foolishness that we have so. And I take them as the ideal. And I use them as the markers, as the standards. not realizing that these things are low standards. Yeah? And as usual, these things are not bashing. It's just calling us to look at ourselves based on our actions. And what are we passing on? So we need to check in. We need to be doing this. We can't be spending billions into the hands of people who are turning around to beg for, to free us up. You know what I mean? Politicians will keep it down for years. As them say, hey, run, go and knock upon and gyrate and do all the craziness I want. And then we're back into the slum. Nothing getting better. Promises are not kept or fulfilled. It's crazy. When we are going to wake up, when we are going to make the change. So, once again, it's a Hotep and good Jasineb. We check into these things. We say in the energies and spirits and principles of Ma'at, Ubuntu. Give thanks for your tuning in. Give thanks for your support. We appreciate love it. And rest of blessed love, blessed love. Stay safe out there. We could start take back our mind. We could start think for ourselves. We could start looking at what we are doing. Because the same things, the things are hard. If we take them and work on them, then become easy. And then become the easier things to be done. We just need to put the work in and the time in. Yeah? Come on, African family, we can do this. So we with them. Blessed love, blessed love.
Come link with me under the Iroko tree. Make a reason through every season. Speaking the truth for the youths. Maintaining the spiritual rules. Maintaining the spiritual rules. Maintaining the spiritual rules.